Everyone. My name is Rodrigo. I'm a lead application engineer for XenomatiX in North America, and I'll be giving an overview of the XenoTrack road mapping solution with a focus on the available software. Here we have the three parts of the road mapping solution. The first is data collection, then data processing, then visualization and reporting. The data collection portion includes all the hardware from your kit, including the LiDAR, camera, GPS, encoder, and all cabling. This can be mounted on any vehicle, so flexible to all passenger vehicles, electric bicycles, quads, anything that we can mount the wheel encoder to. It can also be installed on existing multifunctional vehicles. This kit is operated all with one software, which is extremely easy to use, called XenoCockpit. XenoCockpit is meant to be used in vehicle by a single operator who can drive and scan at the same time using a simple interface that minimizes button presses. XenoCockpit will manage and check the status of all of the devices connected to the X station and also display all of the metrics for that session. I can open up XenoCockpit and show the UI and how simple it is to use. So the first part of XenoCockpit is the boot up test. This will check all the individual components and make sure they're ready to go. And it will actually not let you scan until everything returns satisfactory. Once that happens, the user simply hits continue and start, and you'll immediately start recording once you start driving. While driving, the user just has to monitor uh, simple icons. This icon on the top right will show you how much storage you have left to let you know how many more miles you can drive. Any other errors will pop up in this area as well. So if the camera is disconnected, the GPS coverage is lost for too long, you'll get a warning icon up here. You also have event messages, which you can include during the recording to tell you if there's something that you need to leave out. For instance, a speed bump that might throw away your IRI value, or a tunnel or underpass, which might explain or signify that there is low GPS signal in that area. Once you've reached your desired stopping point, the user simply hits stop with one button, and they can quickly see how long they drove and all of the data that was collected in that session. They can then immediately hit start new if they want to keep recording, or pull over and find their next location. Once the sessions are done for the day, the user simply closes the software and returns to their hotel. Um, I'll quickly go over what the data looks like. So this is a session uh, of a full day recorded with XenoCockpit. XenoCockpit simply uses a day date method for the naming convention, so you can quickly understand when something was recorded and what day it was recorded. So in these sessions, you have all of the data collected during your recording. I'll go over this briefly. So first you have your most important raw folder. This is where you have all of your raw LiDAR data. This is something that is collected 40 times per second. XPC is our binary format, XenomatiX point cloud, and can be converted into CSV or LAS or any other method using simple point cloud tools in MATLAB or Python. For visualization purposes, I have a point cloud here. So this is a single XPC. This is one frame that has 30,000 points. And then for visualization, as the user is driving forward, these point clouds add up, building up the road surface. And this is the methodology we use to deliver all of our data. Each of these point clouds can be individually visualized or examined. So if you want to look at the rawest form of data, it is available for you to use. The other data that's collected by XenoCockpit is your GPS information. This GPS information um, is parsed by our system, but it can also be analyzed by the user using the proprietary software from Septentrio. This software uh, is only used to check the data quality, or if you want to use the GPS signal for your other sensors or software. And you can easily see your heading, pitch, and roll throughout the session, your elevation changes, and of course, your GPS trajectory. Lastly, the camera information is stored. So you have your 2D images from XenoCockpit. And this can be collected up to 9 frames per second, or around every 5 meters. This data can then be opened or transferred to the post-processing X station. So the full kit actually includes two of these devices. One will be mounted in the vehicle and it'll store all of the information from these sensors, and the other one will be outside of the vehicle, either in the operator's hotel room or back at an office um, with a dedicated uh, NAS system. These slots here that you see are the SSD slots. So the user simply parks the car, pulls all the data they collected that day out of the car, goes into their processing area, plugs the SSDs in here, and they can process using Digital Road Plus. This is meant to be a seamless transfer from data collection to data processing. The special thing about the GPU X station is that it can actually handle everything on board. So unlike other road scanning solutions, you don't have to send your data out to the uh, equipment's manufacturer for them to send you back the process data. You can do everything yourself using the X station. So this software, Digital Road Plus, this is our all-in-one post-processing solution, and it's meant primarily for batch processing. So a user might have recorded anywhere from 30 to 100 unique sessions in a day. All of those sessions will be visible in this software, and you can simply hit select all and leave them processing overnight. There is currently a 1 to 3 processing ratio, but that means with 6 to 8 hours of driving, if you process overnight, you can visualize and look and check all your data the following morning before you go out and collect the remaining roads. This software is very easy to use. You have all of your outputs here, and I'll go through some of these outputs after this. And you also have all of your settings. So simply your map resolution, where your sampling areas will be taken, also the road characteristics for rutting, and also vehicle characteristics like wheel width and wheel track. This software will also give you a lot of debug information. So if you're having issues with any of your sessions, you can easily copy and paste this information, and a XenomatiX customer support engineer will help you out to keep you processing. This software will then output a lot of different files here that you can use. Most of your important software or outputs are in the log folder. Here we get another session. Are in your log folder, but you have other outputs that you can use as well. We'll focus on the log folder for now. The first important thing is your sampling files. So this is your intensity sampling file. So this sampling file is a 2D representation of the stitched scans from the LiDAR. Each pixel in this image corresponds to the resolution put in DRP. So for instance, this image has a pixel every 10 millimeters, and every 10 millimeters we have an intensity value, which gives you this uh, grayscale image. But we also have the height information for that point. And those two data outputs can be combined to create your LAS file. You also have um, a lot of different outputs here, uh, including your indices like IRI. So I have the IRI open here. The IRI has a lot of information, not just your IRI, but also your heading and speed and timestamp and location for that IRI value. You can use this to understand if the data was recorded in a turn or if it was a very low speed IRI versus a high speed IRI, all of which can help you do a little bit of quality control with your data. Another important thing that ERP gives you is your geotagged images. So each of these images is geotagged and referenced um, to a centimeter level. So here you can see uh, your map location of where this image was taken. All of this information that's processed can be analyzed individually or combined in other software to report to your final customer. All of these softwares I'm showing here are third-party softwares that are readily available for your use for visualization and reporting. QGIS is a free alternative to ArcGIS. StreetSaver is a pavement management solution, which includes a PCI calculation. And Cloud Compare is just a point cloud visualization software, which I used earlier to show you that XPC file. I'll now switch to QGIS to show you an explanation and overview of how this data can be analyzed and displayed. So first off, we have here our LAS file. So this is that sampling file which you saw in intensity view, which you can see here, but it is 3D projected. So this is on top of the real road you see here with the satellite image. I can also show here the geo-referenced images. So these are those images placed in the correct location on the map. And you can see they line up very well with the LiDAR. So here is the beginning of this patch right here. And you can see a lot of those cracks as well in the intensity map. You also have your height map here, which tells you your geometric information. So actually you see here that this patch is actually very smooth. You have very little um, blue marks here. And in this screen, blue represents parts of the road that are lower than the ground plane. So here you have your drainage gutter, and red represents data that's above the ground plane. So here is actually your sidewalk or your road curb. Um, you can use both of these visualizations to find distresses or measure road features. You can also display your indices on this software. So here I have your IRI. So this will tell you where there's rougher roads versus smoother roads. So green would be a more smooth road, whereas yellow or orange would be a fair to poor road. This overall is a pretty bad road. Um, However, it seems the IRI is still smooth in some areas. But here you can see orange IRI, which will have some bumps, and here you can clearly see there's some potholes in the road, which will cause bumps. And bumps mean higher IRI. Um, all of this information is immediately importable into these softwares and will be very necessary to understand all the data collected and also report out to the final user. So all of these files can be uh, exported into a table or a final report for your customer. And that is an overview of all of the software and data provided with the XenoTrack road mapping kit. For more details on all of the outputs and settings, please contact someone from XenomatiX Sales and we can share that documentation. Thank you.